Conor Gallagher has found a spiritual home with Diego Simeone. That's somebody who they both needed each other. They didn't know that, but they know that they both need each other. They are two peas in the pod.
Diego knew all along. He always knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. This is the Weekend Review. I'm your host, Tosin, alongside Dean, and we have Gabby. Coach is not here today. He is being a good Muslim man, and he's not here today. So, yeah.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Yeah.
So all the fam then that celebrate. I think aren't the Christians fasting too right now?
Catholics on Wednesday.
Catholics. I was gonna say,
yeah.
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I mean, because I heard the Pope nigga they're waiting for some smoke or some shit. I don't know. There's a lot going on religiously, in a world that feels like hell. But in any event, Ramadan Mubarak to all the real niggas. Welcome, Gabby. Always nice to have you on the main pod. Because I don't like you on the Arsenal pod no more. But welcome.
I do have the Catholic story to tell you about the Pope, and I'll sum it up quickly. And when the Pope died in 2005, obviously I went to Catholic high school. If they could, they would have been playing parlays. Like, the kids were so excited because the Pope died, we got a day off. So when the Pope died, we got a day off, and everybody was excited. It's fucked up.
Man.
That's my Catholic story.
Degenerates.
Yeah.
That segment was brought to you by FanDuel.
Speaking of FanDuel, let's go to La Liga in Spain. Real Madrid went away to go to Real Betis, and they lost 2-1. And this game was interesting because Isco was probably the best player in the field, right? Him and Johnny Cardoso, one of those guys, probably one of the best players in the field. And Madrid just looked lost, man. They legit they missed Jude. They also missed Valverde. They look lost. They look very lost, and they lost 2-1.
I don't know what I mean. I do agree they missed Jude, but this stutter step that they're catching right now, right after Mbappe just starting to pick up form, and they were playing through it. It's so weird because it's the business end of the season now, and you let Atletico Madrid get back into the title race, and I'm like, I know it's not really affecting them that badly on the table, but performance-wise, you guys look so off the boil.
I don't want to read too much into it because I feel like they had the midweek game where Endrick played really well. I forget who they played against. Was that Sociedad they played against in the Copa del Rey?
Yeah.
And I believe Endrick started that game because Mbappe had a dental procedure. So I kind of feel like this is a hangover from that. I feel like if he was like 100%, they would have found a way to win this because they were good for, I would say, like the first 20 minutes. Then Isco was like, I'm better than everybody on this pitch. Then this Johnny Cardoso guy, I'm a fan personally. I've always thought he should be more prominent in the U.S. men's national team.
Agreed.
But you actually care about the U.S. men's national team. I do not. What do you think about it? Should he be one of your starting midfielders?
That's hard because our midfield is probably the positions where everyone's set already. The Tyler Adams, the Weston McKennie, everybody's set in the midfield. So who he comes in for is like maybe Yunus Musa, and I would like to see it. Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I would like to see it. I think he should be played more. Personally, I don't want to see him go back to Spurs. I don't want to see that. I think he's been playing a lot. I shouldn't say better than some of the other prospects in the U.S. men's national team, but like his consistency is better than some of the rest. I think Yunus Musa is up and down. Weston McKennie is the best of the best, in my opinion. And Tyler Adams is just coming back from injury, and he's just picking up steam. So,
I don't know, man. You can call me anti-black if you want, but all them niggas got to hold some bench because Johnny Cardoso just dominated Real Madrid. And I don't know what the fuck these niggas is doing this weekend. I really don't know what they're doing. Like we're going to talk about Yunus. He got some time off. That's what happened to him this weekend. So I don't know. But fantastic game from Betis, man. They completely deserve to win. Probably should have won by more if you ask me. But, nobody asked me. I'm just talking on the podcast.
So we have Atletico Madrid and Bilbao. There was a thing in this game, right, where it's like the 89th something minute, like they tackled somebody. I think it was a tackle at clearance, right? And all you see is Diego Simeone jumping up and down like he won the World Cup. Like, this man gets excited over tackles. Like,
he's a sicko.
He loves duels. Like, I know that's Mikel Arteta's thing, but this man loves violence. Like, he's like, yeah, y'all are running the 89th minute for me. I like that shit. Some more of that shit. And I was like, fair enough. But Conor Gallagher has found a spiritual home with Diego Simeone. That's somebody who they both needed each other. They didn't know that, but they know that they both need each other. They are two peas in the pod.
Diego knew all along. He always knows.
To be fair, so did Julian Alvarez. I said it months ago on the pod now, but like, I think that was one of the best transfers that happened in the summer, genuinely.
I think, it's very clear watching City season that they missed, if not necessarily him, a player like him, which is why Marmoush is a good player on his own, but he's come in and looked quite good because he's that sort of link, second forward type player that can kind of play as an 8, kind of play as a winger, kind of play as a 9. And that's what Alvarez gave them last season that they were missing from jump. And my only issue with the transfer when it happened was that I thought, well, he's not even prime Julian Alvarez yet. So I hope, one, City haven't seen something from a health standpoint. And two, why are these motherfuckers paying $90 million for him? Like, he's not that good, but he's adjusted fairly quickly. He looks quite good. He's been making a difference in recent weeks. I don't know what it would take for him to repay the transfer, but I'm pretty sure we won't be talking
winning
about
the league.
Perhaps, and they're close to doing it, So yeah, he just might do it. As Bilbao, they look pretty good in this game too. They just have poor finishing. They hit the post, I think, like 3 times in this game. And I don't know, on a different day, it's a one more draw or they actually win it, but let's see, they got the momentum right now. They got the momentum, so.
You know what else has the momentum? Barcelona. They whooped on Sociedad's ass, beat them 4-0. That pre-assist Lamine Yamal had, I'm just like, yo, you're 17. Why are you so good at football? Like, what's wrong with you?
It's actually disgusting to watch him sometimes. I hope he doesn't get burnt out too quickly because I want to see him have a long career. The fact that he's so good at 17, his ceiling, I can't even imagine what his ceiling is. Like, I don't even know.
The ceiling is the roof.
I don't want to be a hater or nothing, but maybe we're witnessing the ceiling right the fuck now. Okay, like something we need to get used to as fans of this sport is the idea that people are going to be peaking early and just kind of plateauing out. That's just how it's going to work. Because when look at Raheem Sterling. There's been a lot of chatter about him recently. He started playing at 16 or 17. And the rule of thumb from the OGs in the game is that once a professional has played 500 games, their legs are probably gone. So we're going to see a lot of guys basically having great careers starting at, like fucking Max Dowman at Arsenal. He's 15. Like he's probably going to be a Premier League player by the time he's 16. And I don't think it's crazy that he'll be done by 30, perhaps. 15 years ain't that. You just got to go on TV sooner than you used to back when you were Wayne Rooney instead of Max Dowman, So, but I say all that saying, I hope I am absolutely wrong about Lamine Yamal. He's such a wonderful player to watch that I hope we get to watch him for 25 years if possible, at this level. He's fantastic.
To add to your point, I did watch Man United at Arsenal, U18 game on Friday. Max Dowman is everything they say that he is. He's everything that they say he is. I was watching like, what the fuck? And fuck you, Dean. But I was like, yeah, that kid is incredible. But that's neither here nor there. A game we didn't put on the thing because I needed to add this for Dean. Valencia tied 3-3. And the reason I brought this up is because Dean's son scored. Sadiq. He scored a really good goal in the 87th minute. He had a brace today, but he is such an enigma because he's so lanky, right? And so awkward, but he's really technical at the same time. It's a weird thing where like he looks like he's falling over, but he's not. And he would score the most outrageous goal in the world, but then he also can't control a 2-yard pass. So it's a very confusing player.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons why I struggle to say, hey, Arteta, spend the 120 on Isak. Like, I'm just like, with a little bit of patience, you can get a good discount. There are a lot of good young strikers coming up, and he's one of them.
Yeah,
one of
he
them.
is. Yeah. He is.
And I'm rooting for Yaya Sanogo. I don't mind a giraffe up front. I really don't.
We're gonna give you.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yaya Sanogo,
legend. But yeah, real quick on this Sociedad game. Like once they got that red card in the 17th, it was a wrap. Like there just wasn't anything happening. Gerard Martin, another one of these La Masia motherfuckers. It's like they pop one out every week. It's crazy with these motherfuckers. He scored his debut goal for the club, and after that, it was just one after the other until it was 4. Then Barca took their foot off the gas. Simple.
Yeah. Even Lewandowski scored.
Isn't he the top scorer in the league?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
He is. He's got 21 goals. He's absolutely the top goal scorer in the league. The standings: Barcelona first with 57 points. Atletico Madrid are second with 56 points. Real Madrid are third with 54. Athletic Club are fourth with 48. Villarreal are fifth with 44, and Betis rounded out in sixth with 38. Coach did give us some takes. He said his hot take is whoever loses the Madrid derby in the Champions League wins La Liga. He said Ruben Amorim's comments about Anthony performing to less physical demands is spot on, ill-timed, but spot on. He also said Barca sweeping aside Sociedad hasn't convinced me they can go all the way despite them being in the driver's seat. So that's what Coach wanted us to say.
I mean, they do play a suicidal high line, so.
That's why I mentioned the red card. I wanted to be sure that people think that's the reason I think they won today, because it was easy for them. It was too easy. It wasn't a real test.
Yeah, we're going over to Germany Bundesliga. Stuttgart hosted Bayern 3-1. Bayern won. Angelo Stiller, Dean's favorite player in the world, he scored a goal and celebrated against his old team and apologized. First of all, don't do that shit. I hate players that if you're gonna commit, fully commit. Don't commit and then cow it out. Nah.
The ones that Adebayor sliding into the
be a dick. If you're gonna celebrate against your old club, be a dickhead about it. Don't apologize afterwards. Don't hide your head. Yeah, I did it, and I'm gonna do it again. But he did apologize after the game, which was whack. But at least they equalized, and then that was that, because they really just took over after that. It was just,
it was a shame. It's always brutal when they interview your opponent after the game when you've made a mistake, and they ask your opponent oh, was that something you planned, or was that just something that happened in the moment? And your opponent is and in this case, it was Leon Goretzka who scored the second and basically winning goal in this game. He was yeah, during warm-ups, I was watching Angela, and I noticed that he doesn't like to receive the ball on his left foot. So I was just waiting for my moment in the game. I'm damn, bro. Damn, you just put your whole game out on Front Street. He was probably clocking you from your youth days at Bayern. That little big nose ass nigga don't got no left foot. And years later,
we're two days removed from Black History Month. We're talking about big nose ass niggas. That's crazy.
Angelo, my nigga, man, don't worry about it.
Oh man, yeah, it's fucked up. But at least he feels comfortable with Bayern, man. He feels like this is home. And it looks good. I'm happy for him. We found his home.
He actually seems like the dominant personality in the team. It's weird.
I agree.
I feel like they run shit through him.
Yeah.
And Musiala is there. Kane is there. Kimmich is there. He feels like the big man to me.
And he doesn't speak any German whatsoever.
Yeah, he's more quiet, but he seems like more of a, sometimes you need that bastard in your team. He got a little, spice to it.
Yeah, he's a chill dude.
I mean, he's Nigerian, Algerian from London. I mean, there's a lot going on right there. Frankfurt hosted Leverkusen and lost 4-1. Dean got his son a goal, though. That's all that matters at the end of the day for him.
Yeah. That game was nonsense. It was nonsense. I was watching it and I was just this is the reason I love the Bundesliga, but this is also the reason that I know so many people hate the Bundesliga. Because they're just watching that, I'm I know Leverkusen are going to win this. But you could have scored 3 times already. Why are you this way? At least make it a game, bro. You scored 3 times in 8 minutes. Oh my god!
It's such a I love the Bundesliga. I will never complain about excessive transitions, but it does make you wonder, especially when you're looking. Because I was watching this game on a scouting mission. I'm not looking at Julian Wirtz. I know how good he is. I know that Karl-Heinz Rummenigge or whoever, Uli Hoeneß, one of those old-ass motherfuckers, has decided that we're kidnapping him. He's the best of the Germans, so he belongs to us. So they're going to make that happen one way or the other. But Granit Xhaka, man, I don't want to say I miss this motherfucker, because not really, but every couple weeks, he just has a masterclass in the Bundesliga. He just plays one of those games where he makes you wonder, how important is a left 8 really? But that nigga was hooping. He had a really good game, but ultimately I was there for Hugo Ekitike. And he scored a goal that doesn't really tell me much about him beyond he doesn't give up on lost causes, which is a good quality for a striker to have. So shout out to him.
I was scouting Ekitike in that game too, but he was just frustrating to me. He was just frustrating in that game. The goal that he scored was good hustle play, but it was just I wanted him to be the guy in that game, and I was like, you're passing when you're supposed to shoot, you're taking an extra touch when you're not supposed to. Like, it just felt like he was struggling to like really put his stamp on the game until he scored. But at that point, it was already over. You know what I mean? They had already scored 3 times, so it was just like, well, y'all lost, not me. Like, Harry Kane special.
I will say he looked a little better when they subbed on a second striker, whose name I'm not going to mention. But they brought him on, and Ekitike looked better. So that is probably something to keep in mind for those who do want him at their club. Maybe he's not quite ready to lead the line himself yet, but he's got a couple more games this season, so he can definitely learn those skills in not that long. It's a Bundesliga, baby. 8 minutes.
I got somebody who's ready to lead the line now in the Bundesliga. We'll go on.
He plays in it too. He plays in it too.
Nathan Teller scored. When I asked Dean, how would Nathan Teller look starting for Nigeria? Because I know who I want on the left and the right. I'm left in the middle, but it's like we need a right winger, and I'm not sure if Nathan Teller's going to be that guy, but we need somebody out there. But he scored, so good for him.
Yeah, good for him. I can't call it, bro. I can't call it. I have no current interest in Nigerian football. So can we just move on to things I give a fuck about? Thank you.
This one is for Coach, by the way. Leipzig hosted Mainz and they lost 2-1. So this is for you, Coach.
Yeah. Your boy, did your boy Shesko play in this, Gabby?
Yes, he did. This game was very peak Leipzig. I've been watching Leipzig all season, and I do not rate. What's his name? Marco Rose?
Marco Rosa, yeah.
He's not the guy. He's not the guy.
So you're saying that he has pretty privilege, is what you're saying?
Yes. He's a handsome lad, but it's empty up there. It's empty up there. He just cannot seem to get control of his team, like, at all. And not in a Mikel Arteta way. We have a disciplinary problem. They just, every time you think that Leipzig has the better of their opponent, they just let the grip go away. Like, I don't know what the problem is, but they just cannot finish the team off. They had like 3 chances in the first like maybe 10 minutes that they should have probably scored at least 2 of them. I mean, Shabby scored. It was like a bouncing ball in the box, and they put it in the net. But I was like, okay, like build on that. And then as much as the game went on, I was like, nah, they're gonna lose this game. And they just don't feed Sesko enough. They just have no midfield. Like, where is their midfield at? It's just empty there. Everything's vacated. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's just either the defender sprinting into the attack, or the attacker dropping deep to get the ball from the defenders. I don't know where the midfield is, but it's non-existent.
They don't. It's the Bundesliga. They don't do that there. Okay, that's the defining trait of the league. They don't do. That's why Joshua Kimmich looks like a midfielder in Germany. Then he plays in the Champions League, and they put his ass at right back where he belongs. So it is what it is. But Gabby's rant on Leipzig was basically their entire season. So I don't really need to say anything else. They're just a very inconsistent team. And I can't really, like, when Xavi was injured, I could say, well, they don't have a creative presence in midfield, and that's why they're not scoring consistently. But at this point, he's been back for a while. He's scoring in games, and they still look like this. So I can't quite call it. But I do worry about, again, I have the same concern that I have with Ekitike that I have with Shesko. I feel like the Red Bull teams, for the most part, they play that 4-2-2-2 thing, and it's partnerships down the middle of the field. And with him, if Openda isn't there, if they're not kind of talking to each other, it feels like he's not as active in the game. He can still get you something because he's a good player, but generally he seems to be better in a partnership as well. So maybe the game itself has to move towards a partnership where you can actually play these $90 million strikers that you're spending money on. But a lot of them are not looking like Didier Drogba regions to me right now. I'll tell you that much.
Speaking of Africans and strikers, Guirassy scored again, and Adeyemi. Oh, excuse me. Speaking of African strikers, Guirassy scored and Adeyemi scored as Dortmund beat St. Pauli 2-0. Guirassy has just been on a tear. He just really has just been like, you know what, I'm really good at what I do, and this is it.
Yeah, he's been impressive. He's basically at this point where every week I expect him to score. It's more a surprise if he doesn't score. So that's the highest compliment you can pay a striker. Adeyemi, with him, I just take what he gives me. He's basically Theo Walcott with an afro at this point.
For sure.
That's insane that you calling him Jollof Theo Walcott.
Jollof Walcott.
That is insane. But yeah, I mean, that's Germany. I mean, Bayern basically are going to win this year, right? We kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
They're back.
Leverkusen's had a good season, but they're too far behind now.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the standings. Bayern are first with 61 points. Leverkusen are second with 53. Frankfurt are third with 42. Mainz are fourth with 41. Okay. Freiburg fifth with 40. And Leipzig rounded out with 38 in sixth.
Yeah, I need Leipzig to drop down to like eighth.
Yeah.
So they'll have to sell off motherfuckers for show. Like, I don't want no European money for them bums. And you know what's crazy?
I want that for all the teams I'm scouting for. AC Milan, I need you to be out of Europe. Be in 10th. Okay.
Relegated.
Get me grinders.
Coach has some thoughts on the Bundesliga, by the way. He says Bayern's found their groove. He says,
wait. Why is this nigga so thoughtful? Why can't he just be on the pod? Why is he so thoughtful? What the fuck is this? What are we doing?
I'm just trying.
Say his little goofy ass thoughts.
I'm just trying to be a good friend. That's all.
Fuck both of y'all.
He said Bayern seem to find their groove. At least his personality is perfect for Bayern. He doesn't think Germany's, Man United, as he calls Bayern. Don't think the pressure will get to him. He thinks Leverkusen could mount a late rally in the league. Well, he's drunk, but it's neither here nor there. And he says the CL tie is going to be very interesting. So that's his thoughts on the Bundesliga.
Motherfucker skip 2 meals, start typing nonsense. Whatever.
Oh, man. Serie A, Napoli and Inter. I watched this game, and I was so disgusted in Inter, man. It was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic from them. Dean, this is your mistress, so you tell us about your mistress.
It's been a full day since Inter actually played this game. Yeah. And the fandom aspect of me has kicked in where I'm like, you know what, man? At the end of the day, Inter did not have an obligation to go to Napoli and win this game. Wait, yeah, they went to Napoli. So they went to the Maradona. They got a draw, which kept them at the top of the table ahead of Napoli. They didn't have an obligation to go win it. But actually sitting through this game, as someone that was rooting for Inter, oh my God, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Like, I mean, Coach called it arrogant in the group chat, but I'm not really even sure that that's arrogance. Like, arrogance would suggest that, we scored 1 goal and we feel like we're so much better than you that we're going to get another goal. To score a goal in a game where every time you went forward, you look dangerous, than to just sit for the next, I don't know, was it like 70 minutes and just sat back? Like, at some point, like, there's almost no European top-level team that's in the top half of the table in their league that can't score on you at some point if you just let them attack and attack and attack. Like, it was a rough watch, man. Like, bro, my booty cheeks you don't need to hear this shit. It was upsetting. I didn't enjoy it.
He said he was clenched.
It was rough, man. It was rough.
I'm so glad you said that there's no top team in the top half, because I was going to say, boy, do I know a team in Europe that can't score if we allow them to attack you. But that's neither here nor there. Say, boy, do I know one. But yeah, Philip Billing ended up scoring. All these Premier League players going to Italy and just reviving their career is so funny.
I think it's hilarious, actually. The fact that McTominay is playing like out of his skin for them is like, and I actually picked Napoli to win the league. I just feel like Conte has something about him. He just knows how to do it. We'll see.
I just don't want them to, because I don't want United fans being happy. So fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, I like Inter, so I'm a root for Inter, but I don't know, man. That game, it just, because I know Inter is better than what they showed. So I feel like there's no real insight to take from it besides Inzaghi told them before the game, let's get a point out of this at a minimum. And they got ahead and they just sat on it. And that is weird to me. It's very weird because they're a better team than Napoli, I think.
Yeah, and that was a really good free kick from DeMarco, though. That was
very good free kick.
So, yeah. Like we were saying the other day, what happened to the free kick specialist? And he showed up.
Ain't a lot left, man. Ain't a lot left, but he's one of them.
Yeah. Atalanta and Venezia, I watched this game with 0-0. The biggest thing I can say about this team and this game was just pathetic. That's all it was just pathetic. There's no other word to use besides it was just meh and pathetic. And that's really it. And Venecia's kids suck. So there's also that too. I've sat on those kids for a few months now. I'm not a fan. So
I feel like Atalanta kind of like fell off a cliff. And I feel like they just need to just see the season out. It's just I don't know. don't know what to tell them.
Pretty much. I thought Gasperini kind of taking a shot at Lukman after he missed that penalty in the Champions League was some sort of wake up the lads type move that I wasn't. But nah, he was just being a dickhead, and now everyone is just kind of managing each other. And, let's just get to May. That's where they're at, which is crazy because they still have a chance to win the league if they can just get their shit together. But I don't really see them getting their shit together. They look tired.
No.
They look tired on the field, and they're probably tired of each other.
Yep. Roma, they hosted Como in Rome, and Como went up 1-0. And Roma decided, hey, guess what? We're going to score 2 goals and win this one. So shout out to them.
Listen, I tweeted something about Cesc Fabregas not too long ago.
You did. I saw that tweet.
Listen, I'm just saying, I'm not supporting or negating this agenda, but that Cesc Fabregas to Arsenal agenda is going to be very loud in the next few months. I already feel it. I've already seen it on the timeline. I
just want to make the point that I think, like, a lot of time has passed since Cesc betrayed the club, but I think maybe it's like a generational thing. I don't think you understand just how much a lot of Arsenal fans of a certain age do not like Cesc anymore. We love them so much that we can never forgive. And once Wenger didn't give us the chance to forgive him by letting him come back when he went to Chelsea, it was over. It cannot happen.
See, but that's the problem.
It cannot happen.
It wasn't his fault. And this is coming from someone who hates Chelsea down. Like, I still hate RVP more than Cesc. I'm gonna be real with you.
The sin was committed before the Chelsea thing. Don't worry about it. It's over. He broke Arsenal's heart. We can't forgive that. Like, I don't think the fans will let it happen. Like, genuinely. Like, Arsenal fans.
I don't think the fans will have a choice.
What's that?
I don't think the fans will have a choice.
I don't think it doesn't seem like the kind of thing the Kroenkes would do. I'm not going to pretend I know billionaires. I don't know. My only billionaire friend, I don't want to talk about it. It's a dark moment in my life. Anyway, but the Kroenke, I just feel like there are a lot of lessons to learn from what has happened with Arteta over the last 5 seasons or so. And one of those lessons is that there's no point in having a club man run the club if the club doesn't like him. Like, you need to get an Arsenal man. Cesc is no longer an Arsenal man. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. If it happens, I'll be stunned. Anything can happen, but I'll be surprised. I'll be so surprised. But I'll
be surprised because we don't fire managers, which is how you know when I remember shit. But
yeah, that's the other thing. And shout out Ranieri, man, still doing it at age 1,000. Like, still schooling these young coaches, man. It was looking like Cesc was going to have a nice little scalp on his resume, and Ranieri was like, nope, not yet, young buck. So good for him.
Yeah. Milan Lazio. Milan hosted Lazio. And again, another word I want to use. Fucking pathetic. That's what Milan are. Like, I can't talk too much because my team sucks, but there's so much mirrors between them outside the fact that Milan recently won a league title, but there's 2 giants who are just useless. That's...
Man, you always try to compare Man United to clubs that are down, but not down horrendous. Y'all niggas down different. I'm trying to, they're like, they won a league title recently, like that was just some casual shit. Like, y'all niggas ain't done that shit in 12 years, bro. Like, you're not AC Milan, bro.
First of all, it's not 12.
Okay,
fine. It is 12. It is 12.
Niggas don't got off-white kits, for one. So let's start right there.
They look like, they look like? They look like Portugal today.
They did.
Yeah, but everybody on the team is Portuguese, so it makes sense.
Yeah. The power of George Mendes.
Yeah.
Man, but your boy Yunus Musa, he got subbed in the first half. What did you make of that, Gabby?
That shit was disrespectful. Conte style, you will always have an enemy in me. Like, I hate that guy down. What a dickhead. And not even just to sub him, but to sub him for João Felix that is shit. Wait, he doesn't know it yet. He's still trying to figure it out. But I know it. And you know it. And I was like, oh, look. He did nothing the whole game. Shocking. I know. I just don't understand what he's trying to do. Like, I just felt like a lot of people were very... Yeah, neither does he. And the fact that he's already on the hot seat now, like, people are talking about how he could be close to being fired when he's only been in the, in the job for, what, a couple weeks? Maybe a couple months, if that?
I love Serie A.
It's just crazy to me. I was like, after they won that Super Cup, they were like, you know what? We could do this. We can get back into Europe. I said, no, you won't. This is a new manager bounce. Don't get carried away. Like, don't get carried away.
Yeah, that game was the most fluky shit ever. But and this one, like, I'm not gonna say I understand what Conceição is doing, but I do like the idea of if I'm going to ask the club to spend money on a player and I'm going to use him, I should use him the way I think this player is best used. Like a lot of the managers that have managed Joao Felix always try to half-ass it with him. It's like, well, because I don't like the way you press off the ball or whatever, I'm going to play you on the wing. Or, I'm going to play you as a false 9. And Joao Felix is a 10. End of discussion. Like when you can't decide on what an attacking player is, it's usually because they're a classic 10. That's usually what the issue is. And Conceição is like, you know what? I'm just going to play this dude as a classic 10 and see how it works out. And there were moments, not enough to justify an early sub to embarrass another player, but there were definitely moments where I thought, okay, this might work someday. It's not going to work today, and it did it. Because Zaccagni for Lazio, man, he was hooping. He was the best player on the field today. But I don't know. He had to try something because they don't even look like they're playing for him. It's like they're already tired of it, And I don't blame them because none of us like Sergio Conceição. He doesn't seem likable to me,
He's not. He's an asshole.
I didn't like him back then either, dickhead.
I'm gonna tell you guys.
But that penalty at the end, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Chief.
It was soft.
It was gonna end up.
It was soft. It was soft, but it went against Milan, so
it was
whatever.
Correct.
Whatever.
I got two things I want to say. One, Chukwueze scored, so I don't really care. That made me happy. Two, Joao Felix. The idea of Joao Felix is better than the reality of Joao Felix. That's that. Like when I saw that tweet about like, oh, he's the best technical player we've had since 2012, like whatever. I'm not gonna say his name. If you know who tweeted it. He said it. And I was just like, dude, like Milan has actually had some really good technical players at your club since then.
Well, I think he's 25, so I think Joao Felix is like the perfect. He's like the NBA equivalent of someone like, I don't know, like Gerald Green during his time in the NBA. Like a super athletic player, someone that has this one skill that pops off the screen where you're like, if I can just figure him out, and he's that guy. Him, Nuno Tavares, who was in the same game, who was way more effective. He was running right up to Kyle Walker and saying, "You cannot adopt me, sir. You can't even catch me." The shit was fantastic. So I understand why managers will always try with him. And I hope there will always be a manager that thinks he can fix Joao Felix because we can't have enough of those guys, personally. I know he's a false prophet, but we can't have enough of them. Let's keep trying.
So you're saying Joao Felix is Michael Beasley?
Yes. Exactly that. Without the weed. Or maybe with. I don't know what they be doing in Europe. I don't know that shit.
Definitely not. That's not his thing. Let's get the standings in Serie A and bounce out of Italy before they call me another name. Inter is first with 58 points. Napoli is second with 57. Atalanta is third with 55. Dang, it is close. Lazio are fourth with 50 points. Juventus are fifth with 49. And Bologna rounds it out with 47. Oof. Yo, the standings in Serie A is such an interesting because the relegation battles tasty, the title battles tasty, all of it. They're having fun in Italy. League on. Our boys Brest went away to Lyon and lost. This is a game for Coach Gabby and Dean because you know who scored for Lyon?
What is it?
Twice. He scored twice.
Record scorer at the club. Fantastic.
Yeah. I can just hear Coach now saying, "Oh, fuck off, mate. Fuck off, mate." Yes.
Listen, this was a game for me because Turkey apparently was balling. That's all I care about.
Hey, listen. Kid is special.
I ain't gonna get him, but fair enough.
Yeah, Mikel Arteta doesn't like those people, I don't think. I have no proof of this, and we may get sued for slander after I said that, but if we could give that motherfucker truth serum, I know he would admit to me that, yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them Arab niggas and shit, man. Like that's exactly how I would say it. Like,
I thought you were talking about BBWs. Although he didn't like fat people.
Well, that's
what I thought he was like.
No, that's why we'll never get
like this is some Pep Guardiola shit right here.
Yeah, like nah. Mikel, like if you look at Mikel's choices, it's very easy to figure out what his biases are. Very, very easy. But that's for a different podcast. I'll keep that for an Arsenal podcast. Let me start with my people before I let the whole world know how exactly my coach is racist.
But yeah, unfortunately, Brest lost, but like I said, won. So
yeah. So this Paulo Fonseca thing, another Portuguese manager that might be leaving his job early, he went nose to nose with the ref.
I was gonna say, didn't he even get a touchline ban or something?
He's about to get 7 months.
That's a bid.
Yeah, not even like Jose Mourinho was doing crazy stuff like that. What's going on?
He didn't do that much though. I mean, like when you watch it again, they just touch noses. It's like white niggas got big noses sometimes, like the shit just. Like, it didn't seem overly aggressive, and apparently he was protesting the fact that after added time started, the ref somehow found time to put the game through 2 different 4-minute long VAR checks. Then they had to play an additional 11 minutes after the game was essentially over. And Paulo Fonseca, a stressed man whose team was winning by 1 goal, got a little emotional about it. That's not a 7th month issue. Like, so he, so he was, is it okay? So it's not Pride Month. I get it. It's Women's History Month, I believe. But even so, he did not violate that crazy to me. Like, it was just a little Eskimo kiss. That's all.
Okay. All right. PSG, Leo. Again, this one is for coach too. Leo, Jonathan David scored, but this is well after the fact that they lost. PSG are just ridiculous.
Yeah. That goal by Desiree Doué. Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
He moves me.
Yeah. This wasn't even really a game. Like PSG were levels above Lille in this. It was over probably about 30, 40 minutes in. And if PSG had kept their foot on the gas, it could have ended 7-0 and Jonathan David would have had to get a real haircut, but none of that happened because Lille didn't really come to fight. Does Lille have a Champions League game waiting for them or something? Because I was actually kind of disappointed by their effort levels in this one. They didn't really try.
Don't think they do. I think they're bounced out of Champions League, if I remember correctly. They do. They play on Tuesday against Dortmund. Excuse me.
That explains it because they were terrible in this. And I think. Okay, yeah. So Dembele started when the other team's strikers all score, and they have 3 of them instead of just 2. Clearly, you're not trying. This is practice for them. So yeah. You shouldn't have even mentioned this game, to be honest. Let's move on.
Yeah. Nasty Boys FC beat Nantes 2-0, and that's really it. Don't want to talk too much about that game, but yeah, they beat them 2-0. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Let's get the standings in Ligue 1. PSG are first with 62 points. Marseille are second with 49. Nice are third with 46, which, by the way, Nice, they played this weekend? No, it was Rennes. That's who I was talking about. Rennes, they beat this team 4-0, right? But one of these kids, they got this kid, last name Cisse, scored probably the best goal all weekend. So if you haven't seen that, go look that up.
But, sorry.
What's wrong with you?
Nice are third with 46. Monaco are fourth with 43. Lille are fifth with 41. And Lyon are sixth with 39. We didn't talk about your boy, Mika Barth. Get another hat trick.
Well, that's Gabby's boy, because I feel like she got a really spicy hot take about how Arsenal should not have folded, and we need more white niggas in our attack. And say something, Gabby. Say something.
I am very much make Arsenal black and French again. You just have to look at Mika and be like, damn, he might be the one that got away. For real, he might just be. I didn't think it was going to be Balogun personally, but the fact that he's just balling out there, just doing whatever, hat trick after hat trick, I'm like,
3 hat tricks.
Ain't even played for us. Ain't even played for first team at all. Crazy.
Two loans ago or 2 clubs ago, someone was interviewing him and they told him to describe himself, and it was like, I think you could compare me to a more shit version of Harry Kane. And I was like, that's a really good player.
Honestly, I hope we have a buyback clause or something. Buy him back.
It's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap. But yeah, bring me Ekitike. It's fine. Yeah. I've made my peace.
FA Cup. We're gonna give you the FA Cup draw now, and then we're gonna talk about the games. Actually, no. Do the games, then the draw. How about that? Yeah. Aston Villa beat Cardiff 2-0. Rashford, again, him and Asensio, they got a thing for each other. On the pitch. It's not Pride Month. It's on the pitch.
Listen, January worked out for them, not for us.
Has it though? Has it?
Listen, you pick up 2 attackers who are starting to pick up steam for you. I mean, listen.
Hey man, but they're still ninth on the table.
Unai Emery don't care. You
the FA Cup.
have no expectations on him.
They're not going to win the FA Cup. Like, come on now. Like, come on, man. That's Bournemouth's to win. Bournemouth, baby. That's who we rooting for the FA Cup.
That's who we rooting for. Or Brighton. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just say that. I would love to see Danny Welbeck,
No, that's fine.
Damn, you a hater. It's okay, but
Crystal Palace beat Millwall 3-1, and Millwall are a very, very just nasty team. And Ketia got a goal, but man, Millwall's goalkeeper basically laid out Mateta. Mateta's safe now, released from the hospital, but man, he would have made Kevin Nash proud with that big boot look, man. It's like, boy.
Jail immediately. Yeah. That was ridiculous. And the fact that Michael Oliver didn't even say it was a straight red card first, he had to go to VAR. What a fucking moron. Like, I mean, I won't even say anymore.
Yeah, I think that's probably enough for Michael Oliver. It's crazy that, because you can see the screenshot. A lot of the time, I personally try to excuse referees' wrong decisions because they're seeing it from a vantage point that I don't have and vice versa. I have a more overall view. But that was one of those ones where he's looking right at it. Like, bro, there's really nothing to debate here. Make the call. Let's move on with our day. Instead, you want to waste everybody's time. In any case, I would like to reserve more of the criticism for the player who actually made the foul. I think professionals, actually just in general, people who agree to engage in any sort of physical activity together, like whether you discuss it or not, we all have an obligation to each other to keep each other safe and to make sure we all get home in one piece. Like, he could have ended the man's career with that action. And for what? For a game that your team still lost. Like, even if you won, is it worth it to end someone's career because you're being intense or you're like, I don't understand that mindset at all, and it's not as if someone can tell me that, well, that's why he's a professional and you're not. It's like, well, shit, the motherfucker plays for fucking Millwall in the fucking lower leagues and shit, man. I know I make more money than that nigga. Like, fuck with your boy. It's tax season. Fuck with your boy. So, yeah, we criticize refs a lot, but players also have a responsibility to each other and to not be shitheads. And that was a total shithead move. And fuck Millwall and fuck their VAR coach for his stupid-ass response to the questioning after the game. And I hope JP feels better soon. Boom, boom, boom. But not too soon that you get your shirt back from Nketiah, because that's what we're here for, really. So enjoy your break, brother, because it's Ghana time now. I beg.
Matt Turner started in this game too.
Who did?
Matt Turner.
Did he?
He did.
Oh. For who?
Well, not for him.
Palace.
He said for who, as if he would have started for Millwall.
I didn't know he was still employed at a reasonable level. That nigga been falling. Like,
he's got more appearances than Rob Holding. That's all I know.
FA Cup winner, club legend.
Preston beat Burnley 3-0. The bad guy won this time because one of the guys who racially abused, allegedly, Hannibal, scored. Hannibal didn't show up to this game, but yeah, it was they lost 3-0.
See, this is why you must face your problems in life. Hannibal hit at home and this nigga shine on his ass anyway, man. Damn. You gonna let him call you a nigga that's scoring your team too? Oh my God, bro. Like, see, this is why Arteta don't like your people.
Oh my. You're a sick man. You're a sick man with sick thoughts. That's what you are.
Just slightly drunk. That's all. Sorry. I'm bad.
Oh man. Let's see. Bournemouth and Wolves ended up 4-5 on penalties. And Wolves are out, unfortunately for them. But Cunha got a red card.
Just being. Wasn't it extra time, wasn't it? Or like at the end of the game?
Yeah.
Like what?
Right before penalties.
Yeah.
And they lost by a penalty, and you probably would have taken the penalty, so there's that. He's just so surly. I don't understand why he's so surly all the time. It's like, bro, nobody asked you to sign the contract you signed. Why are you so mad at everybody else? Like, I don't get it.
Oh, my days.
He's just so talented, but he's so surly all the time, man. I don't remember him being this moody about shit. Like, I thought it was that he didn't like Gary O'Neill. So they got him a Portuguese coach. This nigga just mad.
To put a status report that says, listen, money doesn't fix everything. It doesn't fix all your problems. Shut up. Like, get over it. Get over yourself.
Yeah. Someday he will, but maybe he will feel better about life when he's at Liverpool, I guess.
Yeah. A Torres penalty was sick though. Dango Torres penalty, that was
Dango, sorry, the I don't even know how to describe it. You kind of just got to go watch it, So
yeah,
but yeah, goalkeeper didn't really move on that one.
Yeah, because he wasn't expecting it. City beat Plymouth Argyle 3-1. They beat a team that makes socks. Congratulations. They make socks and sweaters.
Hey man,
they gave them a slither of hope just for a minute or two. They were like, "We'll give you one." Listen.
Yeah, but these sock makers beat Liverpool, so this is a big result for City. I mean, this might be their biggest result of the season. It's the only chance to win something,
That's
so
crazy.
I mean,
Nico Riley scored a brace.
Yeah, what do you know about him since you know about all these young niggas and shit?
Hey yo,
you the one that been talking about young niggas all pod. Like tell us about Nico O'Reilly.
I don't pay attention to Man City players.
This nigga lying, Your Honor.
I really all I know is he's light skinned. That's the only thing that I know.
All I know is that
he's also the only thing that I know.
Yeah, well, he scored a brace from left back, and he's supposedly a midfielder. So, I guess I'm impressed. Is this something you guys think Rico Lewis could do?
I think Rico Lewis is 5'6".
Yeah, I don't rate Rico Lewis. So
yeah.
I just wish someone would answer my question. Oh well.
No, Rico Lewis cannot do that.
Context clues, sir. Like, what do you mean?
Well, okay, if Rico Lewis cannot do it, then I'm impressed. Because we've decided we don't like Rico Lewis anymore. So, shout out Nico O'Reilly. He does look like a brawny, big midfielder type anyway. So, good for him.
Yeah. Newcastle and Brighton. That guy Wells scored. He finally scored a chip like he tried to do against Manuel Neuer, but he finally got a chip. Good for him. Yeah. And
I want to say I remember him scoring chips when he was at Arsenal, but a long time ago.
Yeah. Anthony Gordon got a red card. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been letting it. I feel like Gabby, they let these kind of. You saw the fall, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they let those go a lot in the league these days.
They do. I was surprised he actually got that called. It is a foul, but it was just more. I was just laughing because, on that other site that we use, the timeline was very, very funny. I can't lie. And then no thugs being spotted that day. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know.
Underbelly?
It happens to be the underbelly. I don't know.
This thug, Anthony Gordon, will now miss the Carabao Cup final, which I don't know. Did coach include that in his notes for you, sir? I feel like he would have said something about this.
Let me see. Let me check my handy daddy notebook what he said. Okay, and I quote, "I can't lie. I just want to laugh at Gordon in Newcastle. We'll be eager to see the commentary of what he did in the coming weeks and how a full England international cost his team and won't play in the biggest game in his tiny career."
That's some good second day of Ramadan hate. I like it.
Yes,
I like it a lot.
We love to see it. Yeah. And I think you said Arsenal got injured in this game, didn't he?
Well, he did limp off. Isaac limped off. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
That's not good, man, because they held him out of that Liverpool game that they lost. Then he comes to this game that they also lost and pick up.
Yeah. Now he might miss the next Liverpool game. Very interesting.
I don't want to sound like I'm rooting for Liverpool or nothing, but I'm just saying.
Hey, Man United and Fulham, 1-1. United lost on penalties. The United podcast is out now by the time you guys hear this, so go listen to that. I do not have any more thoughts on my team. I think if you just listen to any United podcast since August, it's been the same fucking story. But you guys, the floor is yours.
I find it actually hilarious that Bruno is the only creative outlet that you have. If he's not scoring, you guys are not scoring, which is very funny to me because you guys.
I actually think it's great because it just feels like they're stuck in Groundhog Day. I remember a time when there've been a lot of periods where Bruno has been the best player at United and basically just carrying them, and the extent of the carry job was based on what else was around him. And right now, it's nothing. So basically, you can bank on Bruno to get you one goal every other game or so, and hopefully that goal is attached to a game state that gets you 3 points. Today, 3 points wasn't what they were fighting for, But Fulham were better. Fulham were not as good as they usually are. Fulham have been very good, especially away from home this season. They weren't that good today. I can't really understand why. I didn't like Iwobi playing on the right very much. That was unpleasant to watch. But they were still better than United. And end of the day, I think the better team won this game. I did enjoy Xerxes. I thought he was fantastic throughout the game. I'm unfortunate about the missed penalty at the end. But Gabby, did you watch the game?
No, I was out doing grown-up people stuff. Having Sunday brunch.
Fair enough. Living life.
So I missed it, but I did see the Bassi goal.
The Chido B kid is who I wanted to ask about. What you thought about it.
I didn't watch it, so I couldn't have an opinion on it, but I did see a lot of people on the timeline saying that it was half and half because, Arsenal fans were hating like weirdos. Sorry, I just think that's weird. And then United fans were saying that he was really good. He was better than Højlund, which is not a high bar, but
no.
Fair enough. I said, it is what it is.
Yeah, he looked promising. And I think the most interesting bit to me wasn't necessarily anything he did on the ball or off it. It was just the way the senior players related to him, how they reacted to him, how they treated him while he was on the pitch, like where they played him the ball, how, the body language stuff. Like, they respect that kid. They think he's good. So I fully expect him to be a problem in another season or two.
I lied. I did have stuff to say. I think
of course he did.
I just laugh at like how bad our midfield is and just how bad like our options are in general. And the fans are just like, oh, well, Ruben should figure it out. I'm just like, well, yes, but also this is a really bad team. Like, it's just, yeah.
I think you guys would be great in the Bundesliga.
Oh, 100%. But
I mean, if you can't score in the Bundesliga, then what's the point? It's
well, they don't need a midfield, and at some point, Højlund would twerk something in. Like he is like the white Lacazette at this point, except Lacazette actually scores. So.
Dean, I know you watched this game. My thing with you with Højlund, right? I've never seen a striker who loves to do back heels for no reason.
I think it's a function of not being secure in your build-up play, your link-up play. You just want to, when you're consistently putting the ball in a part of the pitch you're not actually looking at, you're kind of hiding a bit. And I hope he has the opportunity to play somewhere else for a while because he's clearly a talented kid. But I think he's yet another victim of the environment. He needs to go to La Liga and play against Getafe and do what Anthony's doing to all those Paella eating fucks over there, and get his confidence back up.
Aiden Heaven did make his debut today, by the way. Only thing I can say, he looks solid, and he's got braids like a Baltimore nigga. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but he's got braids like a Baltimore nigga.
He definitely does.
Yeah, I saw those braids and I thought to myself, that's where Arteta let you go.
Yep. You know what he looks like, exactly.
Last thing is just shout out to Burnley, Arsenal club legend. That's it.
Man, and also don't shout to Victor Lindelof. Not to him. Absolutely not. The FA Cup draw, we have Nottingham Forest and Ipswich tomorrow. So Fulham plays Crystal Palace, Preston North End versus Aston Villa, Bournemouth versus City, Brighton versus Nottingham Forest or Ipswich. And that is the FA Cup quarterfinal. So that's a lovely weekend.
I mean, this is wide open for we just need Bournemouth to get rid of City, which I think is possible. And we can get a really interesting winner this year. Anybody else that wins, I'm happy with. I'm cool with that. Anybody but City at this point. Like, anybody else can win. Because Pep won't appreciate this shit anyway. Bald ass.
No. Juventus do play tomorrow, but we have Champions League this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, Europa League Thursday, and the other one, Conference League, if you're interested in that. And the Premier League is back this weekend. We have Arsenal United on Sunday. I'm sure we'll do something special for that. So, yeah. 2 teams without strikers.
Oh my God. This is going to be a very nasty game.
Like, y'all got strikers. Y'all got Chido B. Martin. Y'all got Højlund. Y'all got Xerxes. We don't got strikers. Y'all got strikers. Stop trying to be like us, bro.
We don't have strikers. We have a 17-year-old and a Danish wrestler and a Nigerian Dutchman who wants to be a 10. That's what we have. We don't have.
That's why I called him a 9.5. What do you mean?
And I would take if Arsenal had any one of those 3 options right now, there would still be a title race going on. Guaranteed. Ruben, man, he got to learn how to coach some strikers, man. Some coaches would die for some strikers.
And some coaches would die at Man United.
Die young and get a big check to leave with. You know.
Absolutely. But anyways, y'all got anything else you want to add before we get out of here? Cool.
Peace.
All right, everybody, take it easy. Peace.
Peace. Hey, folks, this is Dean from the Shirtless Plantain Show. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and follow us on all our socials. You can see them right beneath our recordings in every video. Thanks again, and see you on the next one.